But with me now is Tobias Ellwood from the centre of the party. Tobias Ellwood, you weren't at this PopCon event. Why is your party doing this? And isn't it confusing to voters to see another group being formed?
Absolutely. It's been a difficult couple of years. You know it, I know it, but we're starting to navigate into a far better place thanks to Rishi Sunak's leadership. Fiscal discipline has returned, calmer waters, we're looking ahead, statecraft has returned as well to Whitehall as we get involved in what's going on in the Middle East and Ukraine and so forth. And yet here we have yet another formation of a group, another People's Front of Judea. This is very confusing to the electorate at a time when they want to see discipline, they want to see unity, they want to see a sense of purpose. And at the moment, they're not actually sure what Labour stands for. We don't give them the opportunity because yet another sub-tribe is formed. But there's another concern here that I have, which is look at the bigger picture. Authoritarianism is on the rise across the world. Britain is looked at as an exemplar of what democracy should be all about, what transparency should be all about. And yet here we have a group or a series of groups wanting to introduce populism. We saw what that happened in the United States. It can't happen here.
But doesn't PopCons exist for the right of the party because the right-wingers have been purged from the top of the government, so they're Braverman and the rest? These right-wing Tories, they look at their government, they don't really recognise many people from their persuasion in it, so they've formed the PopCons to do that for them.
Yeah, and this is the problem of where we're heading, is because I can tell you the message, build on your hate, and that can rile you up, get your anger going, and then you'll vote for me. But is it going to take the country anywhere? No, it won't. We've seen that in other parts of the world. We don't want that to happen here. And the reason why it might happen is simply because of how we select our leader. It's given to the power of the base. That's the membership chooses that. And I'm advocating that that must change. That decision as to who leads the party must be returned to parliamentarians. If you did that, you wouldn't have these groups trying to schmooze our base with these populist policies, which I'm afraid would not survive contact with reality. That's what needs to change.
I'm not sure your idea would survive contact with reality. You're going to take away the grassroots.
Change. It will change, whether it happens now or indeed later. Because if it doesn't happen, what we'll see is our party fragment between the light blue and the dark blue. Worst case scenario, we'll see Nigel Farage ending up as leader of our party because our base will like that. Now look at our successful leaders in the past. Go back to Disraeli, Churchill, Baldwin, Thatcher. They're the ones that embraced both sides of the party. They're the ones that actually ignored populism. They're the ones that approached a one nation approach. Look to our base, but look beyond our base. It's the centre of British politics. That's where the votes are. You go to your extremes, just like with Jeremy Corbyn on the left, you're never going to get elected.
But if you cut out members from choosing your next leader, how does that even make sense? Why would people want to campaign for you in elections?
Really important question. Our membership is important, from the grassroots, delivering leaflets, helping with local council elections. They need to be participating in that. Perhaps they choose 4 or 5 candidates, but we choose the final 1 or 2. That's the way that it needs to go through. Flip the system as it is now around so MPs have the final decision.
Are you saying this because someone like you, with a centre-left view on politics, would never win because the base is to the right of you? Is that why you're saying this?
This has nothing to do with me. This is about whether or not the Conservative Party is going to exist in the future. If we move to the extreme right, we will actually move ourselves out of British politics. The most successful parliamentary party in the world will move itself into oblivion if we continue down this right-wing approach.
The idea of this PopCon event, to go back this morning, is about ending, Davos man. That was Jacob Rees-Mogg said the age of Davos man is over. They want to try and give people more control over their lives, almost carrying on that Brexit revolution from 2016. Do you understand the feeling why people feel impotent? They feel that net zero isn't going to work for them. It's more taxation on them.
Understanding important points to be raised, but the next general election is months away. Is this going to help us having discord in the party? Is this going to help us seeing another grouping pursue a different agenda? Let's get behind the Prime Minister. That's the only chance we have of winning this election.
Well, there you have it. Tobias Ellwood fired up on a Tuesday afternoon as a man who was not invited to the PopCon launch today.
I'm not sure he would have received the invitation well anyway. But thank you very much, Christopher. Strong stuff from Tobias Ellwood there.
Really fascinating. Impassioned, fired up, as Christopher Hope said. What do you think? Should the next Tory leader only be decided by MPs rather than party members? GBViews at gbnews.com.